Hi, I'm Alicia Couri, and I'm here to influence, educate, inspire, and entertain you with Audacious Confidence. Audacious Confidence is the unshakable belief in yourself that's so bold and so daring that you live your life without limits or restrictions. So join me on my show, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence, so we can discover the unknown you. Call in to join the conversation at 888-565-1470. Let's get started. Hey, everyone. Happy New Year. It's Alicia here with a brand new show. Happy 2018. I hope you made it through New Year's Eve into the new year okay. And welcome. So we're going to unleash your audacious confidence this year with some goal setting. So I have a whole segment set out for you all about goal setting so that we can start our year off right. It's not about making resolutions. It's not about, saying that I'm going to do this and then you don't follow through. So I'm going to give you some really actionable steps in goal setting that you can set out your new year upright. And before we end the show, I have a very special guest. Remember, I mentioned I'm going to have a super special guest. One of my favorite people in the whole world is going to join me on set. And, I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's a big surprise. So you gotta kind of tune in, stay till the end to see who this super special guest is that I'm going to introduce closer to the end of the show. So goal setting for 2018. So let's talk about, first of all, declaring your vision for 2018. This is a great year. It's a new year. It's a fresh beginnings, an opportunity to really start something off with a bang. And you want to have a vision for where you're going for 2018 so that by December 2018, we just left 2017 behind. So by December of 2018, you can look back and say, wow, look how much I've accomplished during this year. And so that's how you're able to accomplish a lot when you set out your goals and then you start chunking them down to really achievable, measurable goals that you can achieve throughout the year. So it's not like, they say, how do you eat an elephant? It's not like trying to stuff that whole elephant in your mouth all at once. Eat it one bite at a time, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So thank you, all of you who are tuning in on 95.3 FM and 1470 AM. Thank you so much. Those of you on Facebook and Periscope, I love you. YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. And I want to say a huge thanks to my sponsors for this month. Brinker Education Initiative, Jane Robinson, and Sonrisas Dental Clinic. Thank you so much for continuing to be a sponsor of the show and supporting us on air. And so as we get into our declaring our vision for 2018, the Bible says in Habakkuk to write the vision and make it plain. So you need to start writing stuff down. Some people create vision boards. Some people have a journal. But you have to get in the practice. If you haven't ever done it before, you have to get in the practice of writing things down. So let's first start off with writing out what your big vision is for 2018. So that's the first step that you're going to do. You're going to write down what your big vision is that you want to accomplish in 2018. And I'm not talking about 5 years from now or 10 years from now. I'm talking about this year. What do you want to accomplish? So areas that you can think of. Do you have a specific income goal? Do you have a relationship goal? Maybe you want your spiritual goals. You want to get closer to God, or you want to get closer to yourself, know yourself more, be more in tune with yourself and your intuition. Maybe it's finding that mate or creating a better relationship for you and your mate. Maybe your goal is just to improve your friendships, others around you. You can have a goal for your children. How do you want to see, where do you want to see your children in 2018? What do you want to see them accomplish? Where do you want to see them go? So you can write down a goal for your children that you can discuss with them and come up with a plan for that. How about work? Maybe you wanted to start a new business. Hey, this is an opportunity. Write that goal down. Say, I'm going to start my new business this year. Or I'm going to get a promotion, or, write that goal down. What is it that you want to accomplish in 2018? So those are some areas that you can look at in order to accomplish those goals. So the next thing I want to talk about is obstacles, because, you know, life gets in the way, things get in the way, and we're going to face obstacles once we have established what our goals are. It's not just going to magically happen. Things are going to come up, and sometimes things that are going to try to derail us from achieving our goals. So I want to talk about certain obstacles. There are two categories of obstacles I want to address in this whole situation. Number one are internal obstacles. What are those things that internally will hold you back from achieving those goals? You know, Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely right. So, first of all, I want you to think about what your thoughts are, what that dialogue in your head, you know, they call it monkey chatter, what your little monkey brain is doing. What is that chatter that's going on in your mind that's telling you that you can't do it, or keeping you from doing the things that you truly desire to do? So, you know, think about your thoughts, think about that dialogue that you have in your mind. What are your beliefs around accomplishing that goal? Some people may think, well, okay, I want to move into a bigger house. But then you think, well, I really don't need to move into a bigger house. Why do I need a bigger space? And then you start doubting why you should even have the goal in the first place. And then the people start chiming in and saying, well, you don't really need all of that. And then you start believing, you know what, I really don't need all of that. And suddenly your goal becomes unimportant to you anymore. And why bother to do it? It's a silly goal. So why should I even try? So you have to watch what your beliefs, what you're beginning to develop as beliefs around the goal that you're trying to accomplish. And then look at your values. Do your values line up with those goals? You know, sometimes we're at odds and we battle with our values. We battle with those things that are important to us if it's in conflict with something that we want to achieve. And so we have to work out that conflict with your value system, your beliefs, and what your goals are, and make sure that they're all in synergy with one another, because then you're in conflict. And yes, I found that happen in my own life, that sometimes things that I'm trying to achieve are in conflict with some other things that are in my life, and I have to go back and reevaluate what I'm doing. And so you have to look at what your values are around that and what your attitude is going to be. So when the obstacles do get in your way, what is your attitude? Is your attitude going to be one of giving up, or is your attitude going to be one of perseverance? You know, you choose your attitude. Nobody chooses your attitude. Are you going to do it joyfully? Are you going to, you know, press on joyfully, or are you going to have a bad attitude and say, you know, nothing ever works out for me? I know I shouldn't even bother to try because it just never works out for me. So you have to watch what your attitude is in all of that. And guard the information that you allow to filter into your thoughts, into your life. You know, feed yourself with good things so that those negative things don't overtake you. And then the second part of that, remember I said there are two things in obstacles that you have to look at. So there's the internal, and then there are the external obstacles. So what are those external? You need to write these things down. You know, when you're setting your goals, write all these things down. What are possible obstacles to you achieving these goals? So what are the external obstacles? Maybe it could be money. Maybe it could be time. It could be other family members. It could be lack of transportation. So let's say you wanted to start a new business and you're thinking, well, I don't have the money and I really don't have time because I work full time. So those are my two biggest external obstacles to starting a business. Well, there's always a workaround. You just have to start thinking creatively. But if you write down the obstacles, then you can start looking for the workaround. If you never write it down and actually commit it to paper and start looking at things logically, then it's always going to be a time money issue. It's always going to be, I'm never going to have enough money. I'm never going to have enough time, because you haven't taken the time to sit down and write it out and write down, okay, what money is really needed for me to start this business? What time is really needed? How can I find the time? How can I budget in the time to do the things that I need to do in order to start this business? And then start looking at it objectively and seeing if it really is an obstacle or if it's just an excuse that you've given yourself for not starting. So once you've established what your obstacles are, then the fun begins, because now you get to determine how to overcome those obstacles. Yay. So what are things that you can do that are workarounds? What are areas, when you start really writing things down and looking at it, that's when your brain starts actually coming up with ideas, creative ideas, solutions, things that you never would have thought about, because now you're engaging your brain into finding solutions instead of excuses. So now you're sitting there and you're starting to think about fixing what you think is an obstacle. And there may be some squeaky gears. There may be some, takes a little while for the wheels to start spinning because it hasn't been spinning for a while. So, give yourself an opportunity. Give yourself some thinking time. Give yourself some time to actually start processing these things and start thinking creatively about it. And I'll bet you'll come up with 10 solutions to one problem. And then you start thinking, well, okay, I'll try this. And then if that doesn't work, I'll try that. And because your brain loves to find ways to fix things. So give it that opportunity to find ways to fix things. One of my mentors, David Nagel, when I was studying the laws of the universe, one of the laws that he talked about was the law of polarity. So the law of polarity is that everything is available. Everything was created as a whole. So everything is available at the same time in the same space. So if you are experiencing lack, then at the same time in the same space, abundance also exists. So lack cannot exist without abundance. So if you are experiencing lack, there is abundance in the same space that you're sitting in. You're just not recognizing it. You have not opened your eyes to seeing it. And that's why when you write down what the problem is and you start coming up with creative solutions to it, you start seeing where the opportunities are that you weren't originally seeing. Opportunity is, Napoleon Hill calls it that misfortune is the sly disguise of opportunity. So sometimes you might just be thinking that, well, there's only one way to do this and it's not working. But you're not looking for the opportunity in the situation. So sometimes you just need to stop, sit, and look for the opportunity in a situation. So that's the law of polarity. Everything exists at the same time, in the same place, and you just have to start looking for it. So I want to take a quick break, and I'll come back, and we'll finish this goal setting, and I'll introduce you to my guest. Yay!
Hi, I'm Mary. Initiative.org or contact us at 773-717-6828. That's 773-717-6828. When they succeed, we succeed. Our nation succeeds.
Living, creative space solutions, and through a system of Nourish and Glow essential oils, I can guide and inspire you to create an authentic life full of vitality and joy. Contact me, Jane Robinson, Creative Living Solutions, at 561-305-2317. That's 561-305-2317, or visit me at janelrobinson.com.
Multiple horrifying childhood dental
For Jane
experiences
Robinson.
have inspired Dr. Vivian Weich, CEO of Sonrisas Dental Clinic, to
you
become
see
one of
too
the
much?
most compassionate dentists in South Florida.
Yes.
So if you're anxious or fearful about going to the dentist, Dr. Weich is the dentist for you.
So we are back.
With the latest in technology, Sonrisas specializes in dental, cosmetic, and orthodontic services, including Invisalign, teeth whitening, crowns, veneers, implants, root canals, cleanings, dentures, and fast braces. Call 305-944-0000 or visit sonrisasclinic.com.
Is to go out and conquer the world? Here's a valuable resource. In my book, Your Signature Style, Unlocking the Confidence, Style, and Influence of the Savvy CEO, I'll take you through a process where you can release your fears and embrace your femininity as a powerful tool to unleash your audacious confidence. This is where it all began for me, and I want to share it with you. Get your copy today at acradio.live. Bring out your beauty and confidence from the inside out. Visit acradio.live. Afraid of needles? Anxious about going under the knife? Do the words invasive surgery make you queasy to think about? After years of being mistaken for someone in her 20s, Alicia Couri, a mom of 3 in her late 40s, finally got tired of hearing, "You should write a book about why you look so young." So that's exactly what she did. In her book, Age Younger, 21 Tips to Make Your 40s Look Like Your 20s, she outlines 21 of her top tips for looking and feeling decades younger. These tips can easily be implemented into your own lifestyle so you too can make your 40s look like your 20s. Go to acradio.live to order your copy today. Audacious Confidence with Alicia Couri. Now, let's get back to the show. We are back. Thank you so much for sticking out with me. Happy New Year to everyone watching on Facebook, everyone watching on YouTube, everyone watching on Periscope. Thank you again to my sponsors, Brinker Education Initiative, who will be on the show next week. Thank you for Jane Robinson. Thank you to Sonrisas, Dr. Weich, Sonrisas Clinic, for being a sponsor on our show. And so we left off talking about the law of polarity, how everything exists in the same place at the same time. And so if you're experiencing lack, then you just have to look for the opportunity that abundance is somewhere around your area. You just have to start looking for it, and thinking about creative ways will help you get there. So then another thing that can help you overcome some obstacles is identifying a mentor or a coach that can help you, because they can help you grow. They can see things that you can't see. They've been through things that you haven't experienced yet. So finding a mentor or a coach is a really vital and important step in your growth and in hitting that goal, that vision that you've set for yourself, and share that vision with them. And then I wanted to talk about creating smart goals. So if you're creating your goal, make sure that it's a smart goal. And when I say smart goals, some people know exactly what I'm talking about, but other people may never have heard this term before, a smart goal. So your goals need to be specific, which means it can't just be, I'm going to lose weight this year. That's not specific enough. How about I'm going to lose 10 pounds this year? All right. My goal is to get healthier. What does that really mean? It's not specific enough. My goal is to cut out junk food out of my diet and eat organic. You know, that's more specific of a goal. So make your goal specific. Then it has to be measurable. So if you're saying I'm going to lose 10 pounds, obviously the measurement is taking your weight. So the goal needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. Then actionable. So what are the steps that you're going to take in order to lose the 10 pounds? What steps? So it has to be actionable. I can take action on that goal. If you say I'm just going to lose weight, it's very difficult to maintain action on that, because you have no set goal. So make sure that it's actionable, that you can have steps and systems in place to help you accomplish your goal. Then R is for relevant. How relevant is your goal to your life? If you say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. No, sorry. I'm going to lose weight. Then I'm going to write a novel, and I'm going to learn Spanish. All right. So you have all those goals, but which ones are relevant to your major goal, which is losing the weight? You know, learning Spanish has nothing to do with you losing the weight unless your trainer is Spanish and you don't understand them. So make sure your goals are relevant, because as you start breaking down those actionable steps, the goal itself, those actionable steps need to be relevant to the goal that you've set. So it needs to be relevant, and then it needs to be time bound. So if you're saying I'm going to lose 10 pounds this year, how about I'm going to lose a pound a day for the next, or a pound a week for the next 10 weeks, and that's how I'm going to lose the 10 pounds this year. And I'm going to keep it off by creating a system that will help me maintain my weight. So that by the end of the year, I did not regain those 10 pounds. So that goal is very specific. I'm going to lose 10 pounds. It's measurable. You can measure your weight. It's actionable because, you know, you can create the steps to lose the weight. It's relevant because you're going to create steps that only apply to losing the weight, and it's time bound. You're going to lose it in 10 weeks. All right. And then you track your progress along the way. And if you fail, if you fall off the wagon or anything, just reset your goal. It's no big deal. Just, you know, say, okay, didn't work this time. I'm going to reset. And then as long as you have time in the equation, then your goal, you know when it starts, when it's finished. If you've accomplished it, if you need to reset, then you reset. But, you know, learn to forgive yourself, learn to be gracious with yourself, and just keep moving forward. And the last thing I want to say about that is have fun with this, because it's your goal, it's your vision, it's your dream. So have fun in the process. You know, if you're going to lose 10 pounds, then start looking at clothes that you're going to wear that you couldn't wear before. Start dreaming about what you're going to do. Maybe you wanted to start mountain climbing, and you had to lose the weight in order to do that. Start thinking about where you'll climb. So have fun in the process. So those are my steps for creating a vision and a plan that you can lay out to accomplish your goal in this year. And so I'm going to bring up my very special guest now before the close of the show. And here he is. This is my beautiful son, Elijah. He's joining me today. Yep. Happy New Year. And so Elijah wants to share one of his big goals for 2018, because I asked him to go through this exercise with me. And so you want to share what your goal is?
Okay, so my goal this year is to make a soccer club, because I've always been into soccer. My dad and my sister have played, and I want to follow in their footsteps. And
play soccer. All right, so your goal. So let's talk about what are some of the obstacles? So what's your internal obstacle? Do you have any internal obstacles?
Not that much. I think most of them are like determining how my parents react to it, how
I know one of the things that we talked about is your attitude, sportsmanship. Because, you know, I don't know how much of a team player you're going to be. So that's one of the things we're working on, his attitude.
And I'm kind of a sore loser.
You're kind of a sore loser, yeah. So we're going to work on that. So that's an internal thing. And what about external? What are some of the external obstacles that you saw?
I have to keep up with my schoolwork
to
make sure my parents are see that I progressed in my schoolwork, so they would put me into soccer.
Okay.
And I would have to choose the club that I'd have to be in if it fits into our schedule.
Yeah, because we have pretty busy schedules, and so we have to make sure there are no conflicts with you and the club schedule, especially game times, so that we can make sure that you can make the games.
Yeah, because the other...
in the past, that's been a challenge for us.
Yeah, because it was always Sunday in the morning, and we always had to go to church at that time. So I was never able to...
join that club. So we have to find a club that it doesn't play games Sunday morning. Maybe Sunday afternoons, but not Sunday mornings. And so when we have to determine the time bound on that, so it's specific, It's measurable because once you start playing for a club, you know that you've hit your goal. It's actionable because we're going to take the steps to make sure that we can get you there. And it'll be relevant because you love soccer, and we'll do the things that can get you there as well. And it'll be time bound because there's a season. So we have to find out when the soccer season starts and when you can start playing and kind of gear ourselves towards accomplishing that goal for you during this year. Yes. So, so your kids can be involved. If you have kids, you can get them to set their own goals for the year and go through that list with them and help them to determine, how they're gonna achieve their goals for 2018. And I want to say thank you, Elijah, for coming all the way here to be a guest on my show.
Oh, you drove me here.
I drove you here. All right, so you had no choice.
You're my mom.
So he came all the way. He's so excited to be on the show. And so thank you so much for sharing your goal with everyone. And I hope this has helped you. I hope it'll help you as we go through the next year. And it seems like it's time for me to wrap up already. This went by so fast, the time, right? So we're going to say goodbye to you now and tune in next week. Make sure you tune in next week where we'll have Mary Ellen Brinker. I'm mixing up my guests. Mary Ellen Brinker from the Brinker Education Initiative. And we're going to talk some more about STEM and Hispanics in STEM. And have a wonderful week. Happy New Year again, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And I'll see you next time. Love you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye. A wise friend always says to me, we have a finite number of minutes to spend. And just like you can only spend $1 once, you can only spend 1 minute once. It's your choice. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for choosing to spend some of your minutes with me on my show. I wish you love, health, and happiness to live your life with audacious confidence. I love you, and we'll see you next time.